an election. Because it doesn't matter if you're Democrats or Republicans. If somebody on the inside is stealing an election, it can happen the opposite way round. So the good people on the Democrat side would also want to know that. There's good people on both sides. But I've said along this whole journey that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party will cease to be this year. There will be no two parties. And I said earlier on there'll only be one party, and it will be the Nasara Party. Now, Nasara is something I've been talking about for a year now. Mm-hmm. And I said as a joke about 6-8 months ago, it wouldn't even surprise me if he called it the Trump-Sara Party. But yesterday he came out with the name for it, which I loved, which is called the Patriots Party. And
I read that too, and then I see a tweet or a press release from Jason Miller, one of his campaign strategists, who says that no, Trump's not going to start a third party. So, I don't know if that Patriot Party was started by a citizen, just a regular American citizen.
It's not a third party. It's not a third party. This is what will replace the whole system. The whole system of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is completely broken.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it'll be destroyed. This isn't a third party. This is completely this will operate under constitutional law over against the Democrats and Republican parties, which operate under admiralty law. And he will dissolve admiralty law and return to constitutional law, which will mean that everything that happened under admiralty law will cease to exist. So the whole government of America will be completely disbanded because it's all ruled under admiralty law. So once he goes back to constitutional law, they no longer have a job. And he will have a new party under... I forget which number is it, the 17th? He'll be the 17th or...
19th.
19th president. He'll be the 19th president under the Republic. The new Republic, which will be.
Right.
And that's on its way. The reason that we're going through this period, Doug, is quite important that your viewers and your followers understand that when the United States of America went bankrupt, the two people that were owed money was China, the Communist Party of China, and also Saudi Arabia. They're the two people who bankrupted America.
Right.
Now, the only thing of any value financially that America had was the federal pension fund. That's gone.
It's gone.
They've taken it. Now, if we didn't have a virus and a vaccine and all this hoo-ha and 5G and riots, you would have civil war. You'd have civil war. This is why the distraction is over here, while Trump starts a new party, which will be an Nasara party, but called the Patriots Party, which will be able to recover funds for, and this is why he's seizing all the dirty money from around the world and putting it in, because he needs to refinance the world from what's been stolen
from us. That's right.
By corrupt politicians and evil dealings. And we'll move away from what's evil into a very, very positive world. And thank God that he's the man with a pair of balls big enough to be able to do it.
Right.
He's doing an amazing job behind the scenes. There's a lot of telltale signs. You look at who the head of the military has just been announced as, and you suddenly realise it's General Flynn's brother, Charles Flynn. Biden wouldn't have picked that.
Yep.
That tells you he's not in control.
Yep. Interesting. Speaking of being in control, I find that at key moments, the Democrats, as I call them, the commune socialists, I don't think the Democratic Party has existed in the United States since John F. Kennedy.
Correct.
Now, I think that they have slip-ups. We all remember Biden's famous slip-up where he admitted on camera and to the world that they've got the most extraordinary and intricate voter fraud program in the world, right? Remember that slip-up?
Yeah.
Obama said something similar just a few months.
People I talk to is the arrogance.
Rather like to be behind the scenes, just, calling the shots, doing things like that, and get my third term in. I think Biden's behind some of this, or Obama is behind some of this. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Obama's 100% behind
Of
it.
course.
And this just shows you the arrogance of them. This isn't a mistake. This is the arrogance because they've controlled the world for so long. The deep state and the cabal look at you and I as pathetic little minions that have no value. And they think of the people of the world the same way. They have no respect for the people. The reason there's two people I talk to on a regular basis, Mel Kay and Ann van der Steel. They both worked for Trump, both. They know the man. They tell me that he's one of the kindest, most decent human beings you'll ever meet. Never forgets your name, never forgets your birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The other side of the fence, you've got this evil who look down their nose at you and think you're worth nothing and want to control every facet of your life. And they don't care who they kill on the way.
They would look down their nose at you, and they would think all sorts of diabolical things, including children and whatever else. God help us, right?
They even talk about it in public. They talk about it in public, and that's what's sick. That's how. Somebody sent me a clip the other day of a game show, an American game show host asking if he'd drunk any children's blood recently. And this was just said in public. And now we know what's going on. Now you just go, did I just hear that correctly?
Right. Yeah, there are people by the millions who are not awake enough to realize that, and they hear it and they think it's so outlandish that they chalk it up to just us being crazy.
Yep.
It's a real problem. What about the aesthetics of the speeches that I've seen Administrator Biden in lately? For example, the small detail, perhaps it's not small, maybe it's a major one. He has American flags behind him that are terribly wrinkled and unkept. Any significance to that? I've had folks on my side, on my show, what's up with that? Because they know about the wrinkled flag on the coffin, meaning that this guy is a traitor and he's dirty.
Traitor, yeah.
Is there anything to the aesthetics or subtextual messages that we're missing when we see Biden speak?
Yeah, same thing. And then also, when the general walks up behind him, he's got absolutely no medals on, so he's not representing the military. And they have no respect for him.
Yeah.
He hasn't been given the military code.